getting a little action now. We're starting to get things moving along here. We've got a lot of phone operators still that aren't busy. We want to get them going. And, hey, you know, it's only 15 to 12. We got loads of time to have a little party here tonight, a little fun, little entertainment. Much more coming your way. But first I want to introduce you to some friends who've come down here tonight to help us out. And they took some of their time out. I want to move back over here to the media panel from a KQ RS 92, the rock of the 80s. Some great folks. First of all, we have Lynn Wells. Lynn, Wally Walker.
Oh, Bob.
And then the one and only Mesa Kincaid.
Thank you. I got a pledge already.
Good. Well, we don't want to disturb you. You take the pledge. And why don't you read a few for us there?
I do have a couple. As a matter of fact, Mandy, I hope I get this right.
Oh, you will.
My first one off here. Cockendorfer, how's that sound? At Forest Lake made a $20 pledge, and it's also a challenge to all mothers of hearing impaired children.
Yeah. Jerry?
You got a pledge?
Okay, I've got one for you here. Two.
That's a microphone. Don't be bashful.
Oh, okay. I was. My phone's ringing too, so I have to get back to it. But Jody Turcott gave half of his birthday money, which is $5, to the Lions Telethon for Hearing, and he pledges anyone else. He tells everyone else that's having a birthday right now to also just give half your birthday money. I mean, it's, you know, you're making this money off your birthday. You didn't have to really go out and earn it. Why don't you just give half your birthday money? Challenges everyone in the Twin Cities to do that.
What is your zip code?
I've got a super pledge. We're talking $1,000 from Edina Lions of Edina.
Who? $1,000? Who is this?
Edina Lions of Edina.
The Edina Lions Club. All right, $1,000.
Well, you're talking about the Edina Lions, but also the Albany Lions Club came through with $500 too. The Albany Lions Club.
Wonderful.
Jean Swanee of Minneapolis has pledged $50.
Mesa, are you still on the phone, or?
Yes, I've got.
Boy,
Mesa, I must
she
say,
has a hot line over here.
knowing you as I do, that's the quietest I've ever seen you.
I'm really excited. This is great. My first phone call, and it's for Michael Dale, who was deaf until he was in the 7th grade, had the operation, and now can hear perfectly.
Great.
Yes, they're thrilled. They're from Minneapolis, and they're pledging $10 a month ongoing. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Mesa, Wally, Lynn.
It's great to know that all this money does stay in the Twin Cities at the 5M International Hearing Center at the University of Minnesota. Wilfred B. Langhorn of St. Paul pledges $10. Lynn?
The Carpenter's Steakhouse, which is in Hugo. Know it well.
Hugo, oh yeah.
They have pledged $40.
Robert Lee's Restaurant, that famous restaurant in New Brighton, one of my favorite hangouts, pledges $50.
Okay.
One more? Is that it?
One more. We've got one more. Mesa's got a few over here, but she's so busy on the telephone. I'll
Why don't you read it for
her.
I love it. These pledges just keep rolling in.
Elegant ceramic tile of Robbinsdale pledges $100.
Name and address here.
And
Okay.
is that it?
Great news.
All right, you guys are going to hang around, right?
We'll be
Yeah,
here.
we'll be
Okay,
here.
don't go away.
Hours.
Stay on the
Please
phones,
call.
and we're going to get everything going here and cooking and get some money in here and get that total up. We've got $32,370. By the way, local troopers from the Minnesota State Highway Patrol, they're donating. They've contributed $20 in Pine City. They want to challenge the Pine City Sheriff's Department and the rest of the State Highway Patrol troopers. So all you troopers out there, send some money in. And, of course, if you want to send in and give a donation and make a challenge to someone, send it in. And I'll tell you what, if someone sends in a donation for $1,000, $1,000, send it in to me, care of Bob Bruce, and I'll give you the greatest plug you ever had in your life. Just send me that $1,000. That's what I want. 871-1983. Well, where are we? Is the madman back again? Is he here? Yeah. Well, you've already seen him a couple of times if you were with us earlier in the program, but I guess I have to tell you again, he's from Sesame Street, among other things. He's done so many things. And Bobby, come on out here.
All right.
How are we doing? Well, we got. I don't know. We need to get moving here a little more.
I think we do. I think, as a matter of fact, there's a lot of folks sitting back there and enjoying the show, and they really should be on the telephone. And that's kind of one indication that I think people are listening, but I think it takes a little nudging. Sometimes I think it's hard, especially for this kind of a telethon, for people to really be able to relate to the problem. I think it's, if you see two people who are have severe hearing impairment and are signing together, they can easily say those people are deaf. But I don't think people understand all of the related problems of hearing deficiencies. My wife, for instance, in our own family, they say you can't go past 10 members that are close in your family before you run into someone that has
Did you
a
take
hearing
that test?
Well, I have a permanent ringing in my ear, so I'm one of the lucky ones. It doesn't impair anything, but it's a nuisance. I got it in basic training with a rifle next to my ear, shooting off. My wife, however, has Meniere's syndrome, which is a really severe total loss of hearing on one side, was confined to bed and everything, a very serious thing. My other daughter has ear infections quite frequently. These are things that people don't really think comes under this telethon, I don't think. I think they think of only severe people who have a total loss of hearing. But there are 10% of the world's population have a severe hearing impairment of one sort or another. And the kind of research that's going on here is hopefully going to take care of some of those problems. It knocked my wife literally on the floor when she got Meniere's syndrome and vertigo. And she was confined to bed for weeks.
People, we talk about hearing so often in this telethon, but also dizziness. It has
it's outrageous. She had to lie in bed and couldn't even move her eyes from one part of the room to the other without going into a total spin. So while she was awake, she had to stare at one spot, and it was that way for months in bed. And even now, 14 years later, there are still very, very serious side effects, including almost a total loss of hearing on one side. So I think a lot of people that are watching, you don't think about the fact that your child may just have ear infections, but that's after the common cold, they say that's the most common disease
it is
for children, and that's something they're working on very strongly at the center. So those are only two of 48,000 reasons why you should call, because they're doing great things here.
Well, I'm going to go backstage here, and I'm going to get those operators busy.
All right.
We're going to get some more money up on that total board, and right now, though,
well,
you're going to give them
I kept saying the reason I love to come here is because there's so many talented people around this place. First of all, we got a bunch of kids from the McPhail Center, and now the Plaster Sisters are back again.
Over there.
I mean, that's the greatest group of backup singers I've ever had in my life. You can't even call them backup singers. They're stars, but they're nice enough to back me up. And we've got Zoe Seeley's Minnesota Jazz Dance Company, who've been performing all night.
And what a great job they've done.
And they're going to help us do a little celebration right now.
All right, I love it. Bob McGrath, ladies and gentlemen.
Please welcome the Minnesota Jazz Dance Company once again, and the Plaster Sisters. We're going to do a little number on celebration. So come and join us. Celebration. It's a celebration. It's a celebration. We're going to celebrate. What a night for celebration. Celebrate good times. Come on. Why don't you join us and celebrate? Celebrate good times. Come on. I'm going to tell you about it now. Well, there's a party going on right here. You can see a celebration to last throughout the year. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We'll celebrate our party with you. Come on now. Celebration. Let's all celebrate and have a good time. Celebration. We're gonna celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around the world. Come on, celebrate good times. Come on. We're gonna celebrate. We're gonna have a good time tonight. Oh yeah, let's celebrate. It's all right. We're gonna have a great time tonight. Oh yeah, let's celebrate. It's all right. Minnesota Jazz Dance Company. Come on and join us now. We're gonna celebrate tonight. You'll help us do it right. We're gonna have a great time. Come on and join us now. We're gonna celebrate tonight. You'll help us do it right. Celebrate good times. Come Foster Sisters. Thank you very, very much. Come on, how about a big hand for the Minnesota Jazz Dance Company? Thank you. Lionel Richie, one of the most talented songwriters, I think, and singers, and singer of this past year, has won all kinds of awards, written some beautiful songs, and I'd like to do one of my favorites that he wrote recently. It's called Truly. Girl, tell me only this, that I have your heart for always, and you want me by your side, whispering the words, I'll always love you, and forever I will be your lover, and I know if you really care, you will always be there. Now I need to tell you this, there's no other love like our love, and as long as I live, I'll give you all the joy my heart and soul can give. Let me hold you, I need to have you near me, and I feel with you in my arms, this love will last forever, because I'm truly in love with you, girl. I'm truly head over heels with you, love. I need you, and with your love I'm free, because I'm truly, you know you're all right. You're all right. You know you're all right with me. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. One thing that's important is that, well, we keep these phones going out here. You know the number, 871-1983. Easy enough number to remember. We got a whole bunch of phones up here that really aren't ringing. And, well, I hope that you enjoyed the songs and were listening to that, but most important of all, I'd really rather have you not listening and be on the telephone getting all these phones going right now. It's hard to understand what research is all about, but many of these dollars are going to go towards research. It's a long, time-consuming, and expensive proposition. It can go on for years and years and years. But there are some wonderful breakthroughs coming right out of the Lions Center for Hearing. I mentioned a moment ago to Bob that my wife has Meniere Cernum. I was just reading that some terrific advances are being made in that particular disease right here at the center. As a matter of fact, last year I went over and had a wonderful talk with Dr. Pepperella, who heads up the center over there, and he informed me of a lot of things. Computers are now being used to diagnose some of these diseases. But we really do need your dollars to carry on this very, very, very important work. It's unique. It's the only one in the United States, the telethon that we're having this weekend right here. It's unique. It's something you should be very, very proud of. So please, don't let us down. Don't wait till tomorrow. But give us a call. Call a couple of your friends. Even if you've made a pledge, maybe you can give us another call and double it. If you and for all moms and dads that are watching that have young children that maybe tune in and watch us on Sesame Street, just stop for a moment and think. If you can go to their bed at night and say goodnight, and your child can hear you say that and says, "Good night, Mom," back to you, don't take that for granted. There are thousands and thousands of kids and parents who aren't able to do that. So don't take those things that seem so natural to us for granted, because it's something we can't do. It can strike any family, any time. So please, give us a call right now, 871-1983.
Thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
I love your music, and I love your heart.
Thank you. See you later.
There are lions all over this building, and right now, Bob Johander, who's the executive director of this telethon, is somewhere in this building, and he's going to tell us about the hearing fair. Bob?
Thanks, Marcia. I'm at the lobby of the Grant Street entrance to the Minneapolis Auditorium, where this year, again as last year, this telethon, which is just jam-packed with special things for people around the state, has the 1983 Lions Telethon for Hearing Health Fair. It's a program sponsored by the many hearing aid manufacturers and equipment manufacturers here in the state of Minnesota, and it's something that gives you an opportunity to come down to the auditorium and have your hearing tested. You'll be able to find out just exactly what kind of condition your own hearing is in. So all of the things that we're telling you about during this show, you can see for yourself just exactly how you stack up. Over here we have Dr. Barry Veroba, who is the Chief of Research for Starkey Laboratories. Dr. Veroba, tell me a little bit about what's happening here at the Hearing Health Fair this year.
Well, we want to first invite everybody to come on down tomorrow from 9 a.m. throughout the telethon hours to get a free hearing test. Right here we have a machine that tests the middle ear, the region where the eardrum is, and this machine tells us whether or not the eardrum is flexible. And Tracy's eardrum is flexible right now. We're glad to see that, and it's a very simple test, very fast, and it tells us whether or not there's a problem for the sound to be conducted through the head into the inner ear.
Is that a very common hearing problem?
It is indeed a common hearing problem. Many people get fluid in their middle ear, and it stops the sound from getting through. So if you suspect you have a problem, come on down. We'll check it out in a few seconds for you.
This Hearing Health Fair is staffed by some of the many Minnesota-based companies. And Minnesota, as I understand it, is one of the homes, if not the capital, of hearing aid device manufacture. Who are some of the companies that are here for the fair?
I want to thank our colleagues at many companies. They include Activair, Argosy Rexton, Dahlberg, Earmold Design, Electromedic, Mako, National Hearing Aids, Qualitone, Starkey, and Telex. And they provided the equipment for these hearing tests over here. Right now, these people are being screened. It's a very simple test. They hear some tones, and we're able to tell from those tones and their responses to the test whether they have a problem. It's a very simple test, very quick. It's free. Come on down and find out if you have a problem. If you don't, you'll be glad to find out you don't have a problem.
So this is a good opportunity for a simple screening, but it's staffed by professional people. There are physicians and audiologists and technicians here. It's a great opportunity. If you suspect that maybe things are falling off just a little bit, this is your chance. Come down to the Minneapolis Auditorium starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow, and all day long you'll be able to stop up here at the Hearing Health Fair, get your hearing tested, and you'll know for sure. Okay, I think we should go back for a little more entertainment.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bob Johander, and all of you at the Hearing Health Fair here in this building, and I hope all of you are listening very, very closely. Right now, we're going to give our stations along our network line a chance to identify themselves.
This telethon is sponsored by the Lions Club and KSTP TV.